Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Friday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It's 20 Zulu, and this is August 13th, 2021. Welcome to the weekend special, and we are going to have some fun today. Jerry, WB9Z, is on with us. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Tim. Hello to everyone.
It's really good to have you on. Jerry, you're coming off a spectacular year of Sporadic E on 6 meters. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your station and a little bit about what happened?
Okay, well, the station has 4 different Yagis in various configurations. There's 2 Yagis that are 10 elements each, and one that's 9 elements and one that's 6 elements, and they're scattered on different towers at different heights. The tallest one being one of the 10 elements, the Aggies at 80 feet. So I on FT8 I'm using a 7610 and a ACOM 2100. And then on sideband and CW 7851 and a ACOM 1500. So not big amplifiers, but they seem to do the job. And they're all fed with big coax. At 50 megahertz, you need it.
Right. Jerry, when you're working Sporadic E, which primarily happens in June and July, have you found that one height is better than another?
No, not really. You know, I can switch. I got an antenna switch, so I can switch between them. And now, especially on FT8, and a lot of FT8 is just transformed 6 meter DXing. It just has just made it so much. I guess I don't know if I can say easier. It's just more. There's more out there to work. I worked my first 100+ countries on CW and sideband back in the 1990s and early 2000s during cycle 23 and cycle 24. Some of it was done with F2 propagation, you know, and I worked a lot of good stuff then. But it's really hard to tell which antenna sometimes is better than the other ones at different heights. I definitely would not go much higher than 80 feet with anything on 6 meters. 40 feet actually seems like it's a pretty good height. The 9 elements on a 49-foot boom that I have at like 45 feet or so really seems to play well. So again, I don't see a big difference in any of the antennas here.
So, Jerry, tell everybody some of the good contacts you made this season.
Well, I made a list here, Tim, and I hope I'm not going to bore too many people here. But actually, my DX season started back in May. The Europeans were coming through in May already. The later part, mid to later part of May. But my first new one. And I started out with 141 countries confirmed at the beginning of the season on 6 meters. My first new one was Tango Zulu 4 Alpha Mike over in Mali. And I was actually operating the Secure Worldwide DX, or Secure Worldwide WPX CW contest. And I was doing a single band 15 meter effort. So I was kind of like, you know, watching the FT8 screen, and I saw, you know, guys working the Tango Zulu, so I started paying really close attention, and sure enough, boom, he was in there. So I got him. The next day, I worked him on CW. So that was May the 31st. Also on May the 31st, I worked a Tango Radio 8 Charlie Alpha over in Gabon. He's been there for quite a while. He's got a really good station. He's very active, and I've been chasing that guy for years. So got that one in the bag, 2 Africans, and then kind of went through a little dry spell with, new countries. The Europeans were, I'm still working Europeans all the time, but nothing new. And then June the 28th, seems like right around field day, Sporadic E is always really good. And so I got Algeria, 7 X-Ray 3 Whiskey Papa Lima. So that was a new one. And I've always observed for the last 20 some years, it seems like about a week before and a week after the 4th of July is when conditions are really, really good on 6 meters. So on July the 1st, I was finally able to work the Slovak Republic. I got Oscar Mike 5 X-ray in the log. And then later in the season, I worked another 2 or 3 of those guys. But July the 2nd was a big day for me. And it was a big day for a lot of other 6 meter DXers. And it started out early by like 7 a.m. I worked our friend Safe over in Qatar, or Qatar as it's called these days, Alpha 71 Alpha Mike. And he wins the long distance DX record for this year. That contact was 7,157 miles from here. And I was really excited to work Safe because I had seen him coming through previously, but I was able to work him. And then Val was in the shack too. She got in the chair and she worked Safe also right after that. And then 9 Kilo 2 Oscar Whiskey in Kuwait popped in there. I got him easily. And then 9K2MU called me, also from Kuwait. And I believe I worked another 9K shortly after that. And then 7 Zulu 1 Sierra Japan over in Saudi Arabia. And he just confirmed by LOTW within the last 24 hours. That was very, very exciting for me. I mean, how often you work Saudi Arabia on any band? So that was very exciting. That was all 3 of those were on July the 2nd. And I know a lot of guys out here in the Midwest, it was a big day for them on 6 meters. And then on July the 3rd, Bravo Golf 2 Alpha Uniform Echo in China was on. And I've been chasing China. I've seen China in and out at times, but never been able to complete with him. And when I completed with this is all on FT8, when I completed with the Chinese station, I had a guy in Taiwan call me, Bravo Victor, and we were not able to complete. And then exchanging emails with him later, he said he was getting jammed, or I was getting jammed over there from I won't get into that, but that happens over there. So then there was about a 5-day dry spell, and then a big day was July the 8th. Hotel Victor Zero Alpha, our friend Francesco was operating from the Vatican, Hotel Victor Zero Alpha. And I was able to get him in the log. And then San Marino Republic, Tango 77 Charlie. I mean, both of those are rare on just about on any band. And then the last 2 new ones were on July the 12th, Tango Alpha 2 Lima Golf in Turkey. And then shortly after that, Oscar Delta 5 Kilo United in Lebanon. So I've been chasing those guys, and it was just a really good year. A lot of guys out my direction here in W9 land. And I'm sure there's some zeros out there. They were able to get their 6 meter DXCC. Val worked even more new ones than I did this season. And she's well over 100 now, and she has her 6 meter DXCC certificate. So, and we worked a lot of Europeans and a lot of Japanese. We run a lot of, we're always in there kind of watching for something new, but probably didn't work as many stations as Phil did from your location. But we did work a lot of Europeans and a lot of JAs.
Well, I think you had a lot of fun. I know we were talking a lot during June and July, and it was every couple of days you'd have a new story. So that was really good. Let's see who we have on here, Jerry. Oscar Zulu 1 Delta Whiskey X-ray is on from Denmark, and we got Victor Echo 2 Golf Mike Oscar from Quebec, and Whiskey Sugar 7 Papa Bravo. And Dino says Kilo Lima 0 Sierra, this has been a pretty good season. he upped his number to over 250 confirmed grids on 6 meters with an attic antenna. That tells you just how good the band was, Jerry.
Yeah. Congratulations, Ardino. That's pretty outstanding with an attic antenna.
And from Maine, it's Whiskey 1 Quebec Papa, and 8 Papa 6 Norway Whiskey is on. And our friend Gary, I talked to one of the clubs that Gary belongs to, talked to them the other night. Interesting comments on the height of the 6-meter beams. I have trouble on some paths. HFTA shows deep nulls at some angles. Calculations show a dipole at 35 feet should outperform a 3-element Yagi at 55 feet due to local terrain. And he says he knows you have flat terrain, but it's good to have multiple antennas on 6, Jerry, because you never know which one's going to be hot, right?
That's right. And, with all the storms and everything we've been having, you never know. You might lose 1 or 2 antennas, and you still got to have a backup for your backup, right?
And we've got Zulu Lima 1 Mike Hotel Sierra, and he says good Saturday morning from Auckland, and it's just after sunrise there, and he's got 8 degrees Celsius there. They're just coming out of winter time. And Frankie KE5 KQL is on from Edmond, Oklahoma, and our friend Mark M0DXR. Of course, we know Mark had a terrible fire and lost his house, but hopefully things are coming back. Lovely to hear this broadcast. Nice to see you in the flesh, Jerry. Always super loud over here. And we have Kilo Fox 5 Golf Tango X-Ray. And we've got Whiskey Juliet 3 United, WA2 Queen Yankee Alpha, and Angels on today from Arecibo. And he says that he has 101 countries in his first season, 93 confirmed on 6. When I grow up, I want to be like Jerry.
Actually, it's the other way around.
Well, and the thing of it is, Jerry, that Angel spends a lot of time on the golf course too.
Yeah, lucky him, and he still worked over 100 countries. And we were just talking about that before the show started, Angel, that you had worked over 100 countries this season. That's really amazing. So that's very cool.
And he didn't even use the dish, November 2 Sierra Queen Whiskey, Mike 0 Juliet Tango Victor is on, and Kilo November 4 India Fox India. That sounds like a new call, Jerry. What do you think? Kilo November.
Thank you to me. Congratulations there, Joe.
Yeah, and Oscar Zulu 4 Papa Alpha Tango on from Denmark, and Whiskey Oscar 2 Oscar Radio, maybe? No, Whiskey Alpha 2 Alpha Radio. Ron is on. So Jerry, do you believe the season is just about over, or are you still looking at things on 6 meters?
I'm still kind of watching. I'm actually hoping for something to pop up, some propagation towards the South Pacific. 3 Delta 2 Alpha Golfs in there. I know he's trying, and I think that might be late August, September time frame. I've worked into the South Pacific as late as September, October. That's a different kind of path, and this
right.
And that type of propagation too. There's trans-equatorial propagation involved with that, and sporadic E. So you got to get all those hops and all that reflection stuff lined up right. But I mean, I've worked a FK8 Charlie Papa even on 6 meter sideband before. So that's basically same part of the world. There's a lot of stuff out in the South Pacific that could be on. As a matter of fact, I think Val worked a ZL maybe about a month or so ago on 6 meter FT8. So, and some of the guys over here, at least in W9 land, there was maybe somebody worked, maybe it was K3LR worked like 3 ZLs that evening. Yeah.
So you never know when it's going to happen. And we have November Radio 7 Zulu on from Livermore, California. And Steve, November Alpha 5 Charlie Oh, look at this. And this chat room. November Alpha 5 Charlie says, any QSO on 6-meter EME, Jerry?
Yes, yes. There's been a couple. I've worked several off the moon. Um, one that sticks out in my head immediately is when Lance W7GJ was over in the Seychelles. I believe that was S79 Gulf Japan, and that was very exciting to work him. I did work 4 Oscar 6 Alpha Hotel off the moon. I've worked many JAs and Ukrainians. So I'm just trying to, I think really the 4 Oscar, and I've worked 4 Oscar by E-Skip after that, but the 4 Oscar was new for me when I did work them off the moon. But when Lance was there on the Seychelles, that was very exciting. And he, I believe this October, he's heading towards the South Pacific Marquesas and the Austro Islands, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I have no elevation here. So it's just got to catch them at moonrise and moonset kind of thing, which is, you know, it's possible.
That's okay, yeah. And your buddy Clay is on November 9 India Oscar, and November Mike 2 Radio, Papa Yankee 2 Bravo Norway. And Ron says, just getting my 6-meter station back up, old Swan 250C in a 5-element beam. So that's really cool. And of course, here's Val in the chat room. Hi, you too. My over 100 on 6 also got me to 10 bands worth of DXEC. That's pretty cool, Jerry.
It is, yeah. And I mean, she hasn't been DXing that long. So that's very good for somebody that hasn't been DXing as long as me.
We got Kilo 2 Golf Radio Golf. Can you give a few antenna options for DX, including heights? Well, you talked about where your antennas are, but I think we know enough about Sporadic E that the low stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
35, 40 feet, you know, and of course, there's Cushcraft, High Gain, M Squared, Anove, OptiBeam, lots of choices, Jerry.
Lots of choices, and I wouldn't put up anything any smaller than 6 elements. I'd go, you know, I'm a big antenna guy, so on 6 meters, 5 or 6 elements minimum. So
yeah,
and 8, 9, and 10 is even better.
It's we got Chuck on here, K3CWE. Talked to Chuck this morning on 75 and Alpha Bravo 7 radio. And Bobby says, congrats, Val. NV9L, I have DXEC phone and DXEC mixed, but I have not applied for them yet. I need to finish. CW worked all states for the triple play. And Kevin says, I wonder who were the ZLs on 6 meters, Jerry. Do you remember?
No, I don't, but it might take me a few seconds. I think I have my log close by here. I keep at least on the new stuff, I keep a handwritten log along with the computer log just to be safe.
No.
Carry on about Tim. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Dawn says, hi, Val. Hope one day to have as many as you. Stay safe. Whiskey Juliet 3 United. And Bobby says, I worked JA1BQS this morning on 40 meters from the mobile. That's a pretty good mobile contact there from Oklahoma. And Doug, November 7 Bravo Victor Tango. And Kilo Yankee 4 Tango Golf is on. November Papa 3 George Juliet is on. And Kilo India 5 Mike Charlie. And Echo Alpha 5 Hotel Lima November. And Jerry, you still? Yes,
it was Val who worked the ZL. I've worked ZL before in the past, so I want to make sure that she has every opportunity to work a new one if I already have it. And sometimes we have some conflicts, but They don't last very long.
You work
fighting over equipment. And I mean, we have 4 stations we can use here, but you can't operate on the same band with you just can't do it here. Probably could at K3LR, but not at WB9Z at NV9L. The ZL was ZL3 November Whiskey, ZL3NW at 0013 UTC on July the 10th. So good.
And our friend Dr. Scott Wright is on K0 Mike Delta. Jerry is a great mentor in the hobby and one great ambassador for DXing.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
Yes, he is. And Don says, Whiskey Juliet 3 United. Jerry, you're making me feel inadequate with only 4 elements. Well, we can fix that.
You need 4 over 4 over 4 over 4.
That's right. Clay says, I remember the M squared for 2 meters that you had across the entire length of the barn on sawhorses. That was a monster in my book. Status quo to Jerry. So good stuff. You worked some DX on 2 meters, right? Did you work down into the Caribbean?
Yes. Speaking of Sporadic E, and that was on July the 13th. That was when the Caribbean was just banging in on 6 meter E-skip, and some of the locals here were saying that there was KP4s coming in on 2 meters. So I went to 2 meter FT8, and fortunately I had a rig set up here because we had done the June VHF contest. So I had a 7300 set up on 2 meter FT8, and I don't have a big antenna up on 2 meters, but it's adequate enough. So it looks like here on the 13th of July at 1648 UTC, Whiskey Papa 4 Kilo Japan, and we saw, I believe, another 1 or 2 Puerto Ricans at that time coming through, but we were only able to work this guy. We only got like 200 watts on 2 meters. I used to have a much bigger antenna situation on 2 meters and power KW, but I don't any longer this time.
All right, we got our friend Sean, Kilo X-ray 9 X-ray. He's having fun getting back on 6 meter in Illinois. And Eric, November Mike 5 Mike, Jerry always hears very well. Scott says ZL3NW has 10 elements on 6. And Bobby said we had a presentation on the N5UN EME setup. And November 7 Charlie special event going on Arizona in 20 meters right now. And also a code talker event on 14265. And Nick says nice year on 6 and 2 meters. Worked Japan several times on 6 and Eastern Europe. 2 meters opened up to the Midwest even on SSB, making 1,500 mile contacts on 2 meters sideband. That is pretty impressive. And N5 Papa Juliet, our friend Perry. Well, Jerry, thanks so much for coming on. I know you're a busy guy, and I really appreciate you coming on and bringing everybody up to date on what happened with WB9Z on 6 meters.
Oh, Tim, it's my pleasure. I'm always happy to come on, and I'm looking forward to the next time. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great weekend.
All right. And if we can help you have more fun with ham radio, get a hold of us here at DX Engineering. Until then, get on the air and have some fun. 73 from DX Engineering and WB9Z.